But no, seriously, 26, it was devastating for me. You're officially not young anymore. You realize that when you're on the upward cusp to 30. I'm a math guy, so I round 26 up to 30, 26 rounds to 50, 50 rounds to 100, so I'm practically dead. What I wanted to do for my 26 was just do a bunch of crazy shit so I could feel like I'm still young. I planned a really crazy evening. It's like evening now. We were going to go out to New York. We planned a really big night. We were going to go out. We ordered bottle service. We ordered strippers. We were going to do cocaine. No, we weren't really going to do cocaine. But no, we were going to do that. And it was going to be fun. But I got off work. I had to work late, so I left at 6. There's traffic on 95. By the time I got to New York, it was probably right around 9:45, 10 o'clock. So I sat on the couch, just kind of catch my breath, get ready for the night, and definitely fell asleep watching CNN.
All right, now for the fun part. Once everything is framed out and you've got the floor plan together of what that new house is going to look like, the next step is to start making it function like a house. What I'm talking about is adding all of the mechanicals. You're going to add the HVAC system, you're going to add the plumbing system, and then you're going to add the electric. This is getting all your water fixtures, sinks and toilets. This is getting all your outlets and plugs and lights together. And this is getting all your vents together. And that's what we had to deal with here. Before we dive in, I think it's always good to start with a joke. What is the one type of tea that an Englishman can't stand? Humidity. You get it? Because we're about to talk about HVAC. So the main components for your heating and air system is going to be your furnace, your blower, the condenser, and that contains the compressor for the AC, your ductwork, and then your thermostat. The furnace contains the heating coil that's going to actually heat the house. In this house, we've got a gas furnace, so we did have to connect gas to it to get it to operate. The furnace also has a built-in blower. That's going to push the heat created by the heating element throughout the house. The AC is also going to flow through the blower. The cool air is created by refrigerant that's contained inside of your condenser. The condenser usually sits outside. The ductwork is installed throughout the house. The goal is to get everywhere so that the air can flow evenly throughout the entire space. The thermostat, that's your central control unit for the entire system. All right, let's try another one. How did Benjamin Franklin feel after he invented electricity? He was shocked. Get it? So for every house, the utility is going to provide electricity through a series of cables. In the city, these cables are oftentimes attached to the back of the house. Everybody's got a service cable that comes from the utility's wires. Your service cable is going to go through your meter. The main components for the electric system is going to be your meter, your circuit breaker panel, the wire that feeds each of the devices behind your walls, and then the end user components, your switches, your lights, and your outlets. Without getting into too much detail, everything that runs off electricity needs a hot and a neutral going to it. Each circuit breaker in your panel is a dedicated circuit, which brings a wire to a different portion of your house. Each wire contains that hot, neutral, and ground. The two main end user devices you're going to have in a home are going to be outlets and lights. For outlets, each outlet box is going to have a wire run to it. Now, for every light, you have to have a hot coming in, so you have a wire that's carrying electricity from your panel. Usually, the hot goes to your light switch box, And then from your light switch box, you have another wire going up to the actual light fixture. Alright, this one for sure. I get so annoyed when I step in dog poop. I guess you could say it's a pet peeve. Listen, poop jokes aren't my favorite, but they're a solid number 2.
And I like warm hugs.
For the plumbing system in the home, the main components are your meter, your water tank, PEX, your shutoff valves, and the PVC. Now, plumbing is pretty straightforward. You've got the supply lines that's bringing water into your house, and then you've got your drainage system that takes the water and waste out of your house. The supply lines are all going to get diverted from your main that's coming into the house. Usually in the basement or some remote part of the house, you're going to have a line coming in from the street, and that will go through a water meter, and it also will go through a shutoff valve. From there, the cold water goes to the hot water tank. At the hot water tank, it's going to split into 2 supply lines. Your cold, which will just continue as is, and the hot water, which is going to go through the tank and get heated. The hot water and cold water supply will travel to every single fixture in your house. At every single fixture, you're going to also install a drain line. The drain lines are usually white PVC, but they all come back to a central drain, a main drain stack pipe in your house. The main drain will connect into the city sewer outside of the house. So if you can see your stack pipe, it generally goes into the ground or out of a basement wall. That will do it. After everything is packaged inside the walls, now it's time to add sheetrock. Sheetrock is the last step to get everything ready to go to turn it into an actual livable house. The coolest part is that it actually starts to look like a house now. I can't wait for this thing to get wrapped up. Stick around and take a look at the last part of this series to see what this house will turn into. God, I love this shit.
Act differently, you say things differently. Example, I'm at my boy's house. We're sitting down, watching ESPN. They're going over highlights. My boy leans over, he's like, dude, did you catch that Michael Vick play on Sunday? He threw for like 70 yards. It was an awesome touchdown. I'm like, no, I didn't. But did you know that John and Kate still aren't together?